everyone, welcome back. My name is Gloria and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome, and I invite you to hit that subscribe button below so you'll know when I post my next class. I'll be sharing my holiday special at the end of the video, so please stay tuned. As the holidays are approaching, I wanted to feature 3 quick holiday wow cards. We're starting with Thanksgiving, and then a couple beautiful holiday cards. See if you can catch my tips on some unique ways of using your favorite tools. You'll also get a sneak peek at our new Quite Curvy bundle, which will be coming out in the January 2021 mini catalog. For our Thanksgiving card, we're using the beautiful Autumn bundle, the Autumn Goodness stamp set, and also our Gilded Autumn Designer papers. Here are the dimensions for that card. And we're going to start by cutting all the bits and pieces first, and then I'll show you how quick and easy it is to put this card together. We're starting with our layering circles dies. It's a set of 16 that has a combination of straight circle and also scalloped circle dies. We're going to take these here. Oops. We're going to pick up these 2 and then also this scallop here. The exterior measurements from here to here, from the edge to edge, approximately is 2 1/8, 3 1/8, and the scallop is 2 1/2 inches. We're going to take our cardstock and place it on our magnetic platform with the acrylic pad underneath. We're using pumpkin pie, whisper white, and espresso. So we're going to have a pumpkin pie circle, the smallest one, a white scallop circle, and then an espresso largest circle. You put the top plate on and run that through your big shot. You're going to take the pumpkin pie circle and we're going to put it in our Wrapped in Textures embossing folder. So you'll simply open that up, place it inside, and we'll place that on our platform with tab 1. Put the base plate down, the embossing folder with the pumpkin pie cardstock, and then the top plate. Send that through the big shot, and you'll end up with a really cool texture. We're going to go ahead and layer those pieces together to create our pie. So this is the fun way to use your layering circles. We're going to take the espresso piece, put the whisper white on top of that, and then the pumpkin on top of that. We've created a little pie for ourselves. Next, we're going to cut right into the center. We're going to cut ourselves a nice wedge of pie here, and another piece, and you'll remove the wedge. Set both of those pieces aside. Oops, let me finish cutting that in. It's quite a few layers by the time we get it all taped together. And set that aside. All right, let's go ahead and also punch our little leaves that we're going to need. So we're going to take our gold foil and the punch that's part of the beautiful autumn bundle. You'll need 2 of those total. And then we're going to prepare our card base next. We're going to take our cinnamon cider cardstock, and you're going to open it up, and we're just going to cut 1 inch off the cover. So opening your paper cutter, slide it to the 1 inch mark. Let me put it here and then I'll show you here. You'll pick it up. I'll pick it up there so you can see. Take it to the 1 inch mark there. Give it close the handle and then give it a cut. Set that piece aside. We won't be needing that, but this is going to be our base card. You'll take your beautiful Gilded Autumn Designer papers. What I love about this particular set is that it has several sheets that have beautiful metallics with shimmering coppers and browns and greens. So we're going to take this and put it on the front shorter flap of our card so that we leave a border on the side, on the top and bottom, and the left side on that one, and the top and the bottom and the right side on this one. And then we're simply going to tape our pie onto the card with your favorite adhesive. And then attach your slice so that it's it's extending just a wee bit away from the card. So cute. All right, let's work on the inside of the card. When you place the Pear Pizazz cardstock inside the card, you want to leave a border on all four sides. So I'm just going to set it in there so I can see where it needs to go. We're going to stamp the word thankful along the far edges. There, one in the middle, and one at the opposite end. Next, we're going to place our gold leaves that we punched out. And what you'll do is to take that and place that on your glue dot. We don't need to touch those glue dots. They're very, very strong. And I'm just going to put one in this direction, facing outwards, at an angle. And do the same on the opposite side, angling the opposite direction. There we go. And then lastly, we're going to simply tape our Pear Pizazz piece inside the card. Lastly, we want to add a saying. This time we're using something from the beautiful autumn set. It says, "My heart is grateful for you." And if you take a peek, you'll notice that it's a photopolymer stamp, which means that it's a clear stamp with no sponge underneath. So we'll need to bring our stamping mat in. Tap again in that Espresso ink and stamp straight down. 1, 2, 3, lift straight up. And then we're going to use our everyday label punch. Flip it over, slide that lever to open it, and center your saying. I do like to use my punches facing me so I can see exactly where I'm punching. Punch that out. And then we'll simply take and adhere that to the inside. I like to put it on the bottom flap so we have some place to write our sentiments. So just using your favorite adhesive, I'm going to attach that down at the bottom. You're going to close the card, put tape on your four corners, and attach that to your Espresso card base. And when you're all done, you have a beautiful finished card, quick and easy, with a fun, different way of using those layering circles dies to create a fun pie. Second, very elegant card features the same Gilded Autumn designer papers, along with our Poinsettia bundle, and our Plush Poinsettia specialty papers. Now, I featured this previously, but I love the beautiful patterns and texture too. It has kind of a flocked feeling to it. So this is the one we will be using today, and I've used this one in past videos, as well as a beautiful one with poinsettias on there. And what's neat is that that bundle has a die that will actually cut out these poinsettias for you. So it's just another fun way to use this beautiful textured paper. Here are the dimensions for this card. And we're also simplifying our lives by using the hidden gem, the gold cards and envelopes found on page 51. They look like this and has this beautiful border with a matching gold envelope as well. To start off, we're going to cut our poinsettia pieces out using the die. You're going to take your magnetic platform with one base plate, our gold cardstock, and our dies. This is part of the bundle. And in my previous video, I mentioned or gave the tip that there's an orientation for cutting the inside and outside pieces. And so when you receive these dies, they are actually matched for you. So you'll notice if you try to do this, it doesn't quite fit properly. So when you first receive your set, you will take your matched pieces. And what I did was I placed a mark so that I knew where I could match the pieces from the inside piece to the outside piece very, very quickly and easily to have the proper orientation. So now we're just going to just remove those pieces and place them on our magnetic platform. You'll also want to take this die, which cuts berries, out and cut 2 sets of red berries. You're going to take the pieces, the poinsettia pieces, and just kind of give them a little bit of dimension or shape. I hold the center and I do an up and over motion. We're not bending the leaves, we're just simply curling them slightly. So do that to all 3 pieces. I'm going to use the larger Stampin' Dimensionals. So I take the biggest piece, I place that in the center. Place the middle piece and offset it so that the petals do not line up. They kind of end up in between, in between the 2 sides, and they are 2-sided, so you want to peel the lid off to have it stick. Attach that, and then because this next layer is smaller, I can actually probably hide it underneath there. So let's go ahead and you'll take another Stampin' Dimensional, place that in the center, and put one more, the smallest one, on top, to create a quick, beautiful, dimensional gold poinsettia. We want to finish that off with some bling. So we're going to use the beaded pearls that come in that suite. And you simply place the beaded pearl onto the glue dot, and the glue dot comes right off. And we're going to put that in the center to create a beautiful flower. All right, let's assemble your card. You're going to adhere a piece of peacock to the center of your beautiful gold card. Next, you'll take your white cardstock, put the tape in the center of that flocked specialty paper. Next, I'm going to place my Gilded Autumn strip just to get an idea of where to tape down my white square. So I place that on there, and then I'm going to adhere the flocked designer paper onto the card, centering it on the designer paper. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball where that's going to be. We want it kind of down lower, and then I'm going to tape down the top part and simply remove the bottom part and adhere that. All right. Next, I'm going to adhere the designer paper to the card as well. And again, we want to center it. Next, we want to place our berries. I know I want the bottom ones to be overlapping slightly. So I'm just going to take that, put a piece of tape on that designer paper, and set the berries about there. I'm going to put a piece of tape on top to secure that in place. Set that aside. Next, we're going to work on the saying next. We're going to use our lovely labels punch. And again, I'm going to slide it open and take my piece of vanilla cardstock and place it inside. We're going to use this one here. So I'm going to place it, slide it in and center it and give it a punch. Repeat on the other side, slide it in. I like to center it. Next, we're going to use our Merry Christmas saying in real red. So I'm taking my foam mat again, Tap, tap, tap. And remember, these are very juicy ink pads if you have the newer ones, so you want to tap gently and use the full surface. And I'm going to place that on the center with the Y very close to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, lift. We're going to attach this to the designer paper with some mini Stampin' Dimensionals. And again, these are the double-sided ones, so I'm just going to put 3 on there, 1 in the center and 2 on the 2 edges. Take the lids off. And we're going to center that on the designer paper. I'm going to lift those berries that I put down and just have them kind of overlapping like that. Beautiful. All right, finishing off, we're going to place our poinsettia onto the card. And again, I want to be mindful not to have the bottom petals cover my saying. So once I'm happy with that, I'm going to also eyeball where I want those berries to be. Once I know where that is, I'm going to use some tape to catch where those berries need to be. Because I want them to have a little dimension, I want to lift that on there. And once it's on there, tape, you can use some more tape to make sure those berries stay put. And lastly, we're going to attach the poinsettia onto the card with a couple more dimensionals. So what I did here was I actually placed the dimensional over the bottom of the berries to make sure they were not going anywhere. There we go. And that attach that. Lastly, we want to add a little bit of bling. So we're going to use our champagne rhinestones and place a couple just to highlight. I'm going to use my take your pick tool to scoop off a couple of the rhinestones. So I like to press them before I scoop them off. Whoop, there it goes. And I'm going to put one here. And a bigger one next to there. And lastly, finish off with a medium-sized one at the end of my saying. I like to work in groups of 3. So beautiful. And of course, it has that matching envelope. Very elegant and very quick. You've now seen the Gilded Autumn designer paper on the first 2 cards, but look at how quickly and beautifully you can make additional note cards or thank you cards. And again, you can really see how the light catches the metallic elements on the designer paper. So beautiful. The last card is my favorite. I love the embossing folder as well as the new Quite Curvy bundle. So we're going to start by cutting some trees using the Big Shot, and we're using the In the Woods dies. It has this beautiful tree, but we only need small trees for our card. So what I'm going to do is take my shaded spruce, and by placing it just slightly on that cardstock strip, I can cut different size trees. So that might be the bigger tree. And then if I move it down, you'll get a smaller tree. So you will use the magnetic platform with the base plate, the shaded spruce cardstock, and then your die, followed by the top plate. So that die is part of a beautiful bundle called In the Woods. And I love how you can have elements that you can use through different times of the year and seasons. Next, we're going to cut our white cardstock with our Quite Curvy bundle. I love this because there are sayings that you can use throughout the year. This time I'm going to use this one here, layering them just as before with the magnetic platform, a clear plate, the white cardstock, and then our curvy piece. I'm just going to put it pretty much down the center. and then place the top plate on. When you're done, you'll get these pieces here, and you'll notice most of the bits come out. Make sure that you use a roller brush or you take a pick tool to make sure that all the dots are out before you cut again with that beautiful border. What's wonderful about this particular border, it's a 2-for-1 card. You actually get 2 pieces that you can use for 2 different cards out of one cut. One will have the beautiful dots or bubbles in them. The other will be plain. The last piece we're going to prepare is are the embossed trees using our evergreen embossing folder. We're going to open it up, take and place so that I get the trees towards the top of the foil piece. You'll send this through using tab 1, the embossing folder with the foil inside, and then just the specialty plate on top. And you end up with this beautiful embossed winter scene. Set that aside. Lastly, we want to stamp our saying. And so I'm going to take our white embossed piece, place it on our foam mat. This time we are using Warm Wishes from Our Home to Yours. This also comes from the Poinsettia Petals set. And I want to give it a little curve. Did you know that you could bend your photopolymer stamps ever so slightly, giving it a gentle curve? Press that back into place, and then you can check to see how you like the curve that you've created. Then you're going to tap that in your real red ink and stamp it along the hill. Warm Wishes from Our Home to Yours. Oops, it moved. And you're going to press straight down and lift straight up. For your card, you're going to tape your foil piece onto your card base, which is a balmy blue. Use your adhesive, and we're going to leave a nice border again along the top and sides. Next, I'm going to take my saying, and I'm going to eyeball where it's going to be. Again, I want that little border along the sides. I'm going to take my smaller of the 2 trees. So there's my tall tree, which I will chop, and there's my short tree. Using a glue dot or tape, I'm going to place my saying along the bottom to eyeball where I want that tree to be. And I'm going to use your favorite adhesive to tuck the smaller tree behind the saying with just a little bit peeking out. Next, I'm going to attach the saying to the card. I want to use Stampin' Dimensionals. And attach that to the bottom of the card. Lastly, I want to attach my bigger tree to the white piece using glue dots along just the base of the tree. So that I want that tree to be a little bit taller than the first one. You could even overlap slightly side to side. And you could even put a Stampin' Dimensional behind that tree to keep it lifted. So I'm going to take this and just put it behind this tree on one of the wider parts, just to make sure that it stays lifted. All right. I love bling, so I'm going to use a few of my red basic rhinestones to decorate the front tree only. And again, each time I'm going to scoop it off. I'm going to press that rhinestone first. And we're going to finish it off by adding some of the beautiful snowflakes These are the adhesive backed snowflakes. And they come in two different colors. There are white ones and iridescent ones. So these are the white ones. And again, I'm just going to scoop them off and place a few in the sky for snow. Lastly, I'm going to place one of the snowflakes right next to the saying for a little accent. So beautiful. I hope you were inspired by these fun, quick ideas to get your holiday cards made in a jiffy. If you need any supplies, please shop on my website and use the Hostess Code shown. Anyone who places an order between now and Christmas will receive a free PDF with more fun ideas using the new Quite Curvy bundle. If you've already ordered in November, thanks so much. I'll be emailing you the PDF and a thank you card as well. Also, our favorite time of the year is around the corner. Celebration starts January 5th. And just wait until you see the beautiful items that you'll get for free with each $50 or $100 order. You're also going to love the new goodies in the January mini catalog. The Quite Curvy bundle was just a preview of what is to come. I'll be sending out the catalogs towards the end of December, so keep an eye on your mailboxes. I miss stamping with all of you in person and hope we can see each other soon. I'm so thankful for you for allowing me to share my joy of stamping with you all of these years. Wishing you and your families a safe, healthy, memorable holiday. Happy Thanksgiving. Gobble till you wobble. See you next time.